So, first things first, I just wanted to say that I will probably make a video also about this, so this stream will not be the only time I talk about VHS and Dead by Daylight and all that shit. I'm planning on making a video too. Now, all I'm going to be doing in this stream is just playing Dead by Daylight, grinding some challenges, and just talking with anybody, just like anybody who wants to ask questions about, like, because I know there's people here who don't know, people who don't know the situation right now with Dead by Daylight, everything that's going wrong. People who don't know what VHS is, I will answer all those questions. So I can already tell Artisap knows one of many problems that is already going on with Dead by Daylight. So basically, all I'm going to be doing is playing Survivor, because I'm not going to be playing Killer, because then I'm going to not be able to talk to chat, because then I will need to sweat, because, well, this brings me to my first point in the issues with Dead by Daylight as of now, which is MMR. It kills every single game. MMR is... I really don't know why game companies still implement it, even though it's just always, there's news, or just games always consistently die to it. But Dead by Daylight, they re-enabled skill-based matchmaking and put in the MMR system. First of all, I don't care about MMR itself. I care about how it affects the player base, because it's kind of getting into the players' minds. It's keeping the meta the exact same. People are consistently running the strongest perks because when they hear MMR, they just think win the game. And that just means to them they need to run the strongest perks, they need to run super strong items, they just need to, for some reason, sweat their balls off. So, basically, this just makes it a fully competitive game. It is just a complete sweat fest. That's also something VHS is doing right now. We don't know, well, they are wanting their game to just be for fun. They don't want it to be competitive. They don't want any MMR as of now. And that is actually a lot more beneficial for their gameplay style. They're based a lot more around just kind of being a game you can fuck around with, or you can just like actually enjoy while playing it, instead of being a complete fucking sweat fest like Dead by Daylight is well, not even turning into it. Pretty much already has turned into that, but it's getting worse still. Another problem with Dead by Daylight, it's incredibly sad. It's the hackers. The amount of hackers is fucking excruciating. I swear, you can literally look up, like, Dead by Daylight hackers. There are gonna be probably hundreds of videos from big Dead by Daylight YouTubers and streamers just talking about hackers. That's a nurse, I think. I barely saw. I think that's a nurse. And I do not like that. Is that a nurse? That is a nurse. Okay. I thought it was a doctor. Oh, that's a doctor. Hey, why do they look so similar? Oh, nerving presence. At least he's not running a crazy... Oh, we're gonna get a static blasted. Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind again. So, fuck, I could not drop that. So, this is just like... VHS, it's like one of the few things I know they do right. They are aiming to be fun instead of sweaty. But Dead by Daylight, they might not be aiming for it, but they are certainly implying that they are trying to be a competitive game by implementing this MMR system. And they continuously say, oh, we're changing the meta, but what are they not doing? Changing the meta. It's always Dead Hard, it's Iron Will, it's Sprint Burst, it's Adrenaline, it's gonna be Boon Circle of Healing, even though it's disabled right now, it certainly was in the PTB the strongest perk in the game. And that, I think that is, Boon Circle of Healing was the, like, first time they have majorly changed the meta in a long time, and they have consistently said they are changing the meta before then, when it didn't do anything. So that's another issue. They are just kind of lying about their meta. They're saying that they're changing it, and they haven't changed it. It's always the same perk, and it always has been for the past like 3 years. So it's like, it's just sad. I'm probably just gonna use this toolbox on this so I can get my medkit back. But yeah, so that's basically the main issue with that right now. And then the hacker situation, god awful. They're not, these people, the freaking developers, they're banning hackers, or they're not banning hackers, sorry, they're banning modders, people who modded the game. They removed mods, but they're not gonna do jack shit about the hackers. It makes no sense. How are you gonna get rid of these mods, but you're gonna look at these hackers and you're gonna say it's fine? That really should not be happening. They have a terrible anti-cheat system. It's not working. It's far from working right now. It's completely terrible. We have hackers like stream sniping these streamers all the time and just holding them hostage in games so that they cannot stream. And it's like, it's terrible, because it's not even just streamers that are getting affected by this, because there are people who are seeing that happen, and they're seeing how they're not getting banned, and they're taking that as a call to where they can hack and have absolutely zero punishment for it, and they are completely correct. They are in no way wrong about that. You are not getting punished for hacks at this time in Dead by Daylight. They punish the modding community, and they did not need to go as bad as they did. They completely removed mods. They banned a ton of modders, and I think the only mod I've seen that was harmful to the game was one where the trappers' bear traps were like a hot pink, so they were super visible. That's the only mod I've seen that has been harmful, but every single hacker I have seen has been like 20 times at the minimum more harmful than that mod. That mod only affected the trapper, and nobody played him at the time that mod was made. I swear. It was always Spirit, Nurse, Light, and then like maybe one or two other killers. That's it. That's all anybody was playing. Trapper was literally the worst character in the game at the time of that. Now it's Myers, sadly. because I actually love the Myers, but the Trapper buff is actually really good. It's the only thing I think they've done in this patch, maybe other than the Plague thing, that I think is a step in the right direction. Everything else, fuck that. Now, probably one of the more major points for the game itself, not for the player base, but for the developers in the game. NFTs. I know people don't even have a fucking clue what Dead by Daylight is. They probably have a clue about the Pinhead NFTs, I'm gonna be honest. That shit is everywhere right now. There is not a single fucking thing on, like, Dead by Daylight Twitter or anything like that that is like is not talking about NFTs. It's so incredibly popular. I mean, for example, friggin' Artizap knew it. Alright. But yeah, like, it's the NFTs are just spread. And Steam recently also came out about NFTs and stuff like it. Talking about games. I'm not quite sure exactly what they said. I haven't looked that much into it. But yeah, it's really bad. And it's not even the NFTs that are the most worrying part about this situation. It is the fact that at first they said we never did a single NFT, and then in an incredibly short amount of time later, they said we worked with the people who were talking about NFTs. We worked with them for Pinhead, and we did NFTs with them. And then they went on to say they were great partners. I don't know what they were thinking when they posted that, after saying they didn't do any NFTs and that it was all capped. I don't know what they thought was going to come out of it. I don't know what type of treatment they thought they were going to get by the community, but it certainly was not what they were hoping for. I'll tell you that. Yep, that is indeed what they did. And basically the issue with NFTs, for people who don't exactly know what the issue with them is, they take an fucking immense amount of energy. Goddamn. I let go of my controller when I said immense. they take up an incredible amount of energy, and they just, like, put out a ton of carbon into the world. So people are, obviously this is very bad. Fuck, I'm tear-free. It's super bad for the environment, and it's just, going into it, it's so scummy, because not only are you scamming people for money just for these models, and it's like, damn, I don't know it. It's like fucking incredible amounts of money, like $200 for the Pinhead model, something stupid like that. But you're also doing that NFT fucking, that other shit. Oh, where's this thing? Alright, oh, I thought he would. What the fuck? There we go. I was gonna try to bait him again. My boy was. What the fuck was that? It just turned so fast. But it's just so stupid on their part. How they went from saying nope, and then fucking, I don't even know how many days later, but it was far less than a week, I'll tell you that. They said, yep, we did NFTs. Like, I don't know what you were expecting out of something like that. You were expecting something, but obviously it wasn't very fucking smart, so, fuck. On edge. fuck. Yeah, I'm dead. But so those are really the main problems with Dead by Daylight right now. Because consistent meta, the MMR system, hackers, NFTs, and this is all incredibly recent. And you know what else is recent? VHS. So basically, VHS is another 4v1 asymmetrical horror game like Dead by Daylight, but it is basically more centered around the 80s, and it's less about graphic, blood, and violence and stuff like that. It's more just centered around a fun 80s theme. And so they, just about a month and a half ago, that game was announced, and at first it seemed like it could put DbD in a bit of a worry, and a slight inconvenience to where they had to make one good update and it would probably die. But as more information came out and gameplay, it was quite clear to a lot of people who were keeping in touch with this game, that it could well kill Dead by Daylight because of these situations that are going on. And people were already calling it the Dead by Daylight killer long before, or not even that long before. It was just before hackers grew out of proportion and before the NFTs, or before they were confirmed. We were already calling it that. And it's even more evident because of the NFTs. It just makes it worse for Dead by Daylight. So I wouldn't call this any better for them. I would say it's actually a lot worse. So Dead by Daylight is kind of in a shitty situation because of VHS. Because the community and the developers have actually made it clear already that they care more about their game. Everybody who has play tested it and done beta, like some YouTubers and there are a lot of pretty popular YouTubers that do DbD. Like, yeah, Jay has actually been the main supporter for this game, and he's actually pretty not crazy big. He's not like Darva or anything big, but he is very big in the Dead by Daylight community. And then you have some others like Dowsy. He's a bit bigger, but he hasn't supported it as much, but he has certainly put a lot more support into it. God damn it, RPD. Oh my god. And I feel the exact same way. Probably a bit closer to Jay. I'm pretty new to this game. I'm relatively new. Like 3 months ago I started, and that was only because my sister told me about Dead by Daylight and told me I should get it. It was half off, so why not? I just got it. I liked the game at first. Guess what? 2 months later, MMR hackers and all that shit. Now that's the point we're at pretty much now. VHS has come out, or not come out, it hasn't come out, but a lot of news and gameplay, and a beta release is soon to come out as well. And basically there are a bunch of key differences between these two games. VHS, it's so VHS, it stands for Video Horror Society, which is what the video store, which is actually the lore behind VHS. It already has lore, which is that these teens that are in this video store, all the movies in from videotapes, and these teens got sucked into this like TV dimension through this portal, and these tapes and the monsters inside of these 80s horror tapes have come to life, and pretty much now it's like a 1v4 brawl between, I don't like the care radius already. Oh, I do not like that. I'm far from liking that. So VHS, basically, right now there are 3 monsters. The wart, or weaponized amphibious replicant technology. But I mean, do not call him that, call him wart, because you are going to hurt your fucking brain even the second time after saying weaponized amphibious replicant technology. Fuck. You have the Doll Master, which is very similar to, or which is based off of the 80s movie The Puppet Master. And then you have the Werewolf, which is a werewolf. Be clear on what that is. Every monster has, I'm lagging. Every monster has 3 special abilities. One that is meant for tracking, which that is normally their ultimate ability, which is ability 3, has the longest cooldown. So for the wart, it is this echolocation that covers the entire oh god damn it, the entire map. That's a pig. Okay, interesting. That's good pick up. Okay, that's an interesting choice. It's an echolocation that covers the whole map, and after 3 seconds, the wart sees these yellow highlights of where the teens all were 3 seconds ago, or also in just a bit more simpler terms, where basically where they were when he activated the ability. And they are not live, they are just static images. Facts. I'm actually going to agree with this. Monsters and Mortals, like, I'm honestly starting to think it's pretty much, with the monster versus mortal game mode, it's literally a better DbD. And it's also very similar to VHS, because in VHS, the teams can fight back. The main mechanics for the teams, see, the beautiful thing about VHS is that the opposite team's goal conflicts with the other team's goal. So the team's goal is to kill the monster by crafting these weapons, which have certain stigmas tied to them, which are shock stigma, fire stigma, curse stigma, and a holy stigma. You have to hit, banish the monster with each type of stigma 1 time to fully kill the monster. Their goal is to kill the monster. The monster's goal is to kill all the teams. So there is a clear win condition for both sides. Unlike, guess what, Dead by Daylight, which teams have, or the survivors have a clear win condition, but guess who doesn't? The killer does not have a clear win condition. The player gets to make it up. Which, I mean, that's good in some cases, bad in some cases, because, I mean, not having a clear win condition, oh, sick. That's gonna be cool. But yeah, having a clear win condition, or having an unclear win condition in this game, and having MMR at the same time, is the dumbest fucking thing. If you were to not have MMR and not have a win condition, I would understand it. But you said, fuck that, MMR. Plus the win condition. Holy shit, I almost missed that. I fucking hate those skill checks on gens. The ones that are super fucking early. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane, I activated the trap. But it was going to have to activate sooner or later, either way. Okay, pig's probably over there. So basically, yeah, that's how it works. And each, similar to gens, the weapons, they all take some time to craft. Oh, damn, we got that perk. Damn, fastest heal. The fastest heal ever. So, yeah, it just takes time to craft the weapon. And depending on the weapon, it will take longer to craft. God damn. Really wants her, huh? I'm just gonna get away from that, actually. Yeah, there's a pallet here. Is she gonna come? No, she's not gonna come for me. Is she? Poppy playtime. I think it's a really cool game. I want to see what they do with the next chapters. I think that's what's really gonna make me finalize my opinion. The first chapter, I mean, I like the first chapter. I think it was a bit slow to get to the action at the start, though. That's the only issue I think I had with it, gameplay-wise. Other than that, it's really cool. I like the Huggy Wuggy, or whatever the fuck his name is. I like him. He's a cool guy. It feels like it. I can see your point. It definitely feels like it. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool. It's a good fresh game. What the fuck? Further giving me more reason to say this game fucking sucks. Why are you going there? You want to leave her like that? Are you sure about this? Hey, not coming for me. Dude, she refuses to come for me. Really does not want to go for me. Okay, she's over there. Oh, damn. Clap they ass. Oh, what the fuck? She barely got that hit. Alright, I haven't been hooked. I don't know how. She's pretty much ignored me every time I've seen her. So I'm just gonna go not change Jill. Fucking hell, I keep fucking up names. Oh, damn. She's already dead. So yeah, Poppy Playtime, that's a cool game. Yeah, it's very bendy-like. The story is very bendy-like, but I do like the characters. It is big, bendy. I do think I like the characters actually kind of more, though, actually, in my opinion. The monsters are the toys, I guess you could call them. Yeah, they're cooler, in my opinion. But, now I'm going to get into the bigger details of VHS. So, basically, a big part of VHS is are you fucking serious? Damn, bro. Just like that. Could have given me time to, like... Okay, that DC was incredibly unnecessary. Fucking hell, she's on me. I heard the hat. But I can't hear shit. Let's go! Oh my god! Dude, I heard it, but I just could not fucking tell. Yeah, I do not deserve that escape. Dude, I heard it very faintly. Dude, she could have closed that shit. Yeah, that was just a misplay by her. But, so VHS, very similar to DbD. But, I do think the gameplay mechanics are a bit better. It seems like there's more to do, but that is mainly based on strategy. There's actually not that much more to do in VHS compared to DbD. It's just craft weapons, find the monster, and fight him. As a teen, for the monster, it's just track down teens and fight them. It's just the same thing back and forth. It's just pretty much a big brawl. It's like Brawlhalla and Dead by Daylight combined, but I think it's better than both. So, similar to add-ons, the monsters and the weapons the teens get, which there are multiple weapons in each category. There are 3 weapons in each category of Cursed, Holy, fire, and shock. For shock, there is this like ray gun thing. I don't know the names of all of them. There's this ray gun. There's this that shoots lasers. I'm pretty sure it takes 8 bullets to kill. It's just a point-and-click weapon, basic. There's a point-and-click weapon in every single category, except for Holy. It's more like a fully auto thing. But so yeah, point-and-click ray gun. Then there is a helicopter that you manually control, and you can just send it around and shoot at the killer or the monster with it. But the monster can destroy the helicopter, and also he can hit you while you're controlling it. So that one's it's probably one of the most risky weapons in the game. And then, in my opinion, the most broken weapon in the game, funnily enough, in my opinion, the worst one and the most broken one in the same category, the shock sphere, which is basically this umbrella type thing you activate that creates a shield around you, and if you run into the killer with it while it's active, it immediately banishes them with the electric stigma type, or stuns them if you already have the electric stigma type. That's also a good point I forgot to mention. If you already have the stigma, if you've already banished the monster with the stigma type, attempting to banish him again with the same stigma will instead just stun him. So it's good for setting up another easy banish with a different type of weapon. So that's another mechanic. And then, so these mutations, I think the monsters, I don't think they're actually called mutations on the weapons, but on the monsters there are mutations. And these mutations, add-ons in Dead by Daylight, it's kind of in the right direction, but it's not quite there. It is not the best it could be. But these mutations, they're a lot better in my opinion, because they actually, you can select certain mutations and they are not consumed at the end of the game or anything like that. I would not believe so. I'm pretty sure you just unlock them. Kind of like Injustice 2, unlocking those special abilities. You can just replace abilities, intertwine them, stuff like that. So that's pretty much what mutations are. And they're not made to be stronger than one another. They're just made to fit your playstyle more. So let's say, for example, something like the wart. Like, what if on the echolocation, so the normal is just after 3 seconds of using it, you just see where they were 3 seconds ago, or when you activated the ability. What if instead you got more information out of it, but at a cost? That's pretty much what that is. So that's more of a risky, but it's like a risk and reward type deal there. And then there's some more ones that I mean, that was just an example. I don't know if that's actually like one in the game or anything like that. That's just an example. I'm not quite sure. So like, imagine something like that. It just fits your playstyle. Oh, or something like the wart's armor, which I probably should explain every monster's ability before going into mutations a bit more. Cyberster. You are never gonna not talk about that, are you? But yeah, so the wart, I'll just go through the abilities first. The wart, his first ability is leap, which is, as it says, a leap, lunge forward, and when you land back on the ground, basically this big kind of the ground around you erupts, and all teams in the area that has erupted start staggering, so they move slower, and that pretty much is an easy hit for you. Second ability is the armor, which basically shields you from incoming damage from the team's weapons. So basically, and then I've already explained the echolocation. So the doll, I'm not going to go to Doll Master yet, because he's super advanced. Doll Master is advanced. Werewolf. He is a. So the first one is called Berserk, and it's basically a speed boost for. I'm not sure how long. Can't quite remember. It's a pretty long time though. I'm pretty sure it might be like 12 seconds or something. But yeah, it's like a speed boost. And also the werewolf has slightly higher base movement speed compared to Dollmaster and Wart. So he even without that ability moves faster than them. And then the second one is Howl, which he howls and all the teens nearby. And all teens nearby, basically they cannot use their weapon for 8 seconds. They cannot fire the weapons or anything. So basically, he is a very aggressive guy. And then I haven't told you about the last one. The last one is Hunt. And that basically makes it so you start hunting for the teens. It's basically like a hot and cold game. Whenever you get close to a teen, the edges of your screen start flashing red. And the brighter the flash gets and the more consistent the flashes are, the closer you are to the teen. Go on, no, fuck that. No, not doing that. Nope, 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 nope. Not at all, mister. Not at all. So yeah, it's a hot and cold game. Now, the Dollmaster. Hell. His first ability is to place a doll on the ground that will trigger when a teen steps on it, or the icon above it. So basically, they have an icon above them, and it's the icon is a doll face, and if the icon is white, that means no teens are nearby. If the icon is yellow, that means that there's a teen nearby the doll. If it's red, that means a teen has triggered the doll, and basically it just means stepped on it while running without crouching. Or I think that's pretty much just stepped over it. Maybe if you crouch over it, it doesn't activate. I'm not quite sure. I can't be quite sure on any of this. Didn't you premiere it? I did indeed premiere it. So that, and if the icon is red, but the icon has like X eyes, that means someone has disabled the doll. So basically, if a teen sees the doll, they can walk up to it and disable it. If they're crouching, I'm pretty sure they have to be crouching. That's why I'm believing that you wouldn't trigger the dolls if you're crouching and walk over it. But yeah, that's the first ability. The second ability is Possess, where the Dollmaster possesses a doll, and basically his first ability, while possessing a doll, is replaced with I don't know what it's called. I'm just gonna call it Leap. It's just the doll leaps forward, and you can hit a teen midair while you're jumping. And the dolls are also super short, so you can hide from incoming damage a lot easier. And also, when a doll is quote-unquote banished, instead of dealing that weapon that damage you stigma to you, instead you just get stunned, and you are exposed to the teens for a brief duration. So basically, when you're exposed, the teens have wall hacks on you. They can just see where you are through walls. So it's pretty troubling for Dollmaster, because if you're like setting up traps or you're possessing dolls while you're exposed, they know where you are. They're just gonna sneak up on you, on your body, because that's what they're actually trying to do. When you're possessing a doll as a Dollmaster, the Dollmaster's body stays behind, and the teens can sneak up on the body and actually banish the body, And as soon as you take the first hit of damage, it automatically kicks you out of the doll. So you actually have time to know what's going on. Slight time, so you really have to hide when you possess. So it can be pretty troubling in some cases. But also, while you're inside of a doll, while you're possessing a doll, if a teen gets near you, the edges of your screen will glow yellow, and it will get more luminescent the closer a teen is to the doll master's body. So if it's bright yellow, you can just leave the doll and use your final ability, which is teleport, to teleport to a doll. Now, teleporting to the doll is different than possessing, because the teleports the doll master's body to the doll, and it also removes the doll that he teleported to from the game, but he also gains a doll back. So basically, the doll master has a stock of 5 dolls, and he can only have up to 5 at once on the map. And when he teleports to a doll, the doll he teleported to gets removed and it goes back into its stock. So that's how that ability works. So the doll master is the most advanced killer, or the most advanced monster, but is also very rewarding when you get to learn them. So those are the killer's abilities. We went over mutations, weapon modifications, kind of went over that. So the weapons, we went over the shock weapons, so now the fire weapons. First, the point and click for the fire is more of an automatic, is the flamethrower. Pretty clear what that does. I don't even need to explain what the flamethrower does. You already have a good idea of what the flamethrower does. Next we have a firebomb. Basically it's a Molotov. Don't need to explain what a Molotov does. And then the final one. I'm actually not sure what the final one is. I haven't seen any gameplay of the final one. I know there's like a thing. They did a video on it. On all the team weapons. I can't quite remember the last fire one. I'll skip over that one for now. The two ones that people mainly use either way are the flamethrower and the firebomb. So for cursed, you have the cursed sword, which is the point and click one. Basically, you just swing the sword and it sends out a big spectral line forward. And if the monster is inside of that line, he consistently just continues taking damage. So that one's really good at kind of locking the monster in place. And then you have the demon eye. Not quite sure what it's called, but basically it's kind of like the helicopter but better. You summon this eye and then you take control of it, and your vision gets distorted. And if you run into the monster while you're possessing the eye, it just immediately banishes him with the curse stigma. And then you have the enigma, which it has to charge up. Also, the shock sphere has to charge up. I did not mention that. The shock sphere, you have to go to charging stations and charge it. So it takes a bit longer even after you craft it. But I do still. Oh yeah, it is too long. I just noticed that. Ah, nice. Yeah, it is. That message is very long. But yeah. So the enigma has to charge up, but you charge it up, like without charge stations. You can just charge it up whenever you want, but it takes a long ass time to charge up. But when it's fully charged up, it turns into this laser weapon, and it deals a fucking stupid amount of damage. I don't think this one's as broken as the shock sphere though, because it is a line shot weapon, and also it is an instant damage. It takes like 1 second of consistently hitting the monster to deal the banishment. So that's that one. Then holy, you have the holy cross. That one's a automatic. It's like the flamethrower. It just shoots a beam of light forward and deals damage over time. Then you have the holy slingshot, which basically is kind of like the firebomb, but it has 2 shots instead of 1 bomb. So it just kind of sends a holy ball forward, and when the holy ball lands, it creates like this field around it, and if the monster's in the field, they take damage consistently. And then you have the healing staff, which needs to charge up, and the way you charge it up is by healing people, healing other teens who are injured or dying. Or I think you can only heal injured people with it. But yeah, it charges up, and basically it shoots kind of like the Enigma, this big beam, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage, I don't think. But it's a bit more accurate. So that's the weapons. So there is a wide assortment of weapons you can use. But you have to hit the monster with 1 of each stigma to win. So obviously you're gonna have to you have to limit yourself, kind of. You can't just consistently use the shock sphere, because then all you're gonna banish him at first, but then you're just gonna start stunning consistently and wasting your shock sphere because everybody else has a shock sphere. So all you're gonna do is just perma stunning them, and even then it's not gonna be crazy long because you're just wasting time. You have to go and craft again, and the monster, after finishing, or after not being stunned, will pretty much just fucking kick your ass, since none of you have weapons. So it's a bad idea to do that. So the only reason you should be rocking a weapon of a certain stigma, even after the stigma damage was dealt to the monster, is that... I'm just gonna read it because this is gonna take a while to finish up. Is so that you can stun the monster first, and then let someone with a weapon that has not done damage stigma-wise yet, just come up with that and deal the damage while they're stunned. So that's the reason you would run a stun weapon. Now, I think I should probably talk about some of the smaller details that could be helpful in this game. That to know, I'm actually know one that I've actually seen no one talk about. I've noticed it barely. I don't know how I noticed that. I think I was just paying a bit too much of attention to the cooldown timers on the abilities of monsters. So when the monster, the game itself sounds like a bully. The teens can bully the monster. Yes, but it is a lot more rare than you would think. The monster actually tends... Okay, the reason why. The monsters all have a defense mechanism. The werewolf, the howl, the wart, the armor, and the doll master. The dolls can just eat up the weapons for him, instead of having him take the damage himself. So, they all have a defensive mechanism. So they can protect themselves from weapons. But also, if the monster hits 18... I should probably also explain the health system. I'll get to that after this, because the health system is nothing like DbD. It is like actual health bars and stuff like that. There is still states, but there is a health bar. So basically, when the monster hits 18, it actually creates a subduction zone around him in a wide radius. So basically, when you hit 18, you, as a monster, you look up and roar, so you can't see where the teen is going. So that gives them the perfect amount of time they need to get away. And just like DbD, when you hit a teen, they get a speed boost. Or the one you hit gets a speed boost. But the seduction zone actually stops teens from bullying you while you're on cooldown and looking up, and just like you're unable to do anything while doing that. But the subduction zone, all teens in the subduction zone, they cannot fire their weapons for a few seconds. I'm pretty sure it's something like, maybe like 10, 12 seconds, something like that. So they cannot fire their weapons, they cannot deal damage to you while you are in your locked in animation. So the subduction zone is actually really great, because it's pretty... Okay, we got a trickster. it completely denies bully squads. If you're trying to bully a monster in VHS, if they get one hit off and you're all grouped together, you're screwed pretty much. If they start going all aggressive on your ass. Because they will, and also, see, that may make it now sound like the monster is a bit more capable than the teams now, and it sounds more like the monster can bully the team. But it's actually more balanced than that because... Oh, we ignore that. Because this gen's about to finish either way. Unless I miss another skill check. So yeah, that subduction zone, it's fucking great. They've really thought about, the devs have really thought about what they need in this game. Fuck you. Did he see me? He did not, surprisingly. So the subduction zone is a fucking incredible... Fuck, he saw me. Okay, at least I didn't get hit that much. Oh shit. I need to actually frickin' focus on where they're sticking out. Never mind, he already gave up chase. Alright. So, this subduction zone, it repels all the teams around you. Now, the teams also, now let me go into the health bars and the health states of the teams. So when a monster damages a team, it puts them into the injured state if they're in the healthy state, and into the dying state if they're in the injured state. When they're also, but also other than that, the teams have a health bar, and when they're hit, the health bar ticks down. So if you're going from healthy to injured, all that happens is your health bar takes a flat amount of damage immediately. Nothing else after that. It's just a flat amount of damage, and then you're chilling. Try to do something here. If you go from injured to dying, though, you take a flat amount of damage, and you start taking tick damage to your health bar. So, you need to be a lot more cautious when you are injured. So there is still a reason to heal in that game, because you do not want someone to go down and start taking tick damage. So this may make people go like, what if the monster just tunnels and camps one person out of the game? Now, that goes into this next mechanic called the rage meter. Now the rage meter is basically it's a punishment, or it's a reward for monsters who do not tunnel and do not camp. So with this rage meter, it fills up passively very slowly. Like incredibly slowly. I don't even know how fast it fills up because it doesn't even look like the bar is moving. But it passively fills, and when the monster hits 18, it fills up 1/3 of the way. Immediately. But if you hit that same teen, you hit again, it doesn't fill up this time. You have to hit three unique teens to completely fill the bar. Because passively, you're pretty much never going to get it off of passiveness. I really do not think that's possible for you to get it passively. You pretty much have to get it off of hitting teams. And you have to hit unique teams, so you cannot tunnel the same team. Because then you will not be filling up your rage. You're only going to get to like 1/3, and then from there it's just going to be just fucking tumbleweeds from there. A bunch of pregnant teenagers, tumbleweeds. All that shit. Like a fucking dead town. Fucking ghost town. Pictures take my ass. Fuck, I thought he would. Oh, that worked, kinda. Yeah, I get massive distance off of that. Okay, he gave up on me already. Damn. All these pumpkins just here for me to destroy. Fuck. Were there all tricks? Why? What is that? Oh, that's just the fucking board poking through. thought there was like a pumpkin poking through. But, so yeah, that meter completely removes the point in tunneling and camping. You should not be tunneling and camping. Now, what happens when this rage meter is filled is the next time you hit a teen, even if they're healthy, they immediately go into the dying state. They take double the amount of flat damage as well, even if they're injured. They take double the amount of flat damage they would normally, and they already start taking the tick damage from dying, even if they're healthy, because they already go into the dying state. So basically, this rage just pretty much says fucking adios to the next team you hit health bar. And it puts massive pressure, because it means the teams have to heal twice. And also, I want to note the skill checks and the healing zones, because there are actually zones you have to stay in while healing. That's your form of skill check. And they're actually a lot harder than DbD skill checks. So, you're gonna have to be pretty cautious about this, and that will make it a lot more of a chore to do things like craft and heal. Because if you're not in the healing zone while healing somebody, they're not gonna heal. They're not healing at all. You're not contributing. And if you miss a skill check while you're crafting, it actually gives the killer notification, or the monster a notification as to which station you're crafting at by turning the icon. Because the monster has an icon. He can see what type of crafting station it is with icons and exactly where it is. And basically, the icon turns red when you miss a skill check, and it alerts him. Supply? Oh shit. No, sir! Alright. Anyways. So, these skill checks are a lot harder. So this rage knockdown, if someone's healthy, it becomes even more tedious to deal with as another team. So it's very rewarding there. And also, if you tunnel and camp, you're just giving all 3 other teams time to craft weapons. And you're basically telling them where you are when you hit a teen and when you down them. Because the teens, even if you're solo queuing, you have a stupid amount of information. There is in-game chat, unlike so that's not like DbD. DbD, if you're going solo queue survivor, you have no communication whatsoever. There is no communication. You don't know where anybody is. You do not have you don't have like any clue on where the killer is. That nobody's telling you anything. It is just clueless you chilling there in solo queue. But the game, under everybody's health bar in the HUD, it actually tells you the location they're in. There's a ping system where people can ping stuff where the monster is, stuff like that, where they are. And there's also in-game voice chat, so it's very solo queue friendly, which is great, because that is also another thing DbD struggles with. Solo queue is horrendous. It's not always, but oftentimes it is pretty bad, solo queue. Because nobody's understanding what plays anybody's trying to make. None of that. Nothing's going on. It's just a guessing game. And it doesn't help anyone. So, it's a really helpful mechanism. So, that also, they just know where the monster is, because the person getting tunneled is probably pinging where the monster is. That you can just look in the HUD, see where they are, and you know they're being tunneled, so that pretty much is telling you where the monster is. So if they all have weapons, all 3 of the other teams have weapons, you're getting banished. You're going to get banished. Probably before you kill the teen you're tunneling. And even if you kill the teen you're tunneling, I mean, it's not this isn't as major as the game mechanics, but there's a thing called the Book of the Dead, and basically teens that are dead, they look around for this, and when they find it, they can ping it, and an alive survivor can go and pick it up, and a dead teen will be revived, but they will come back with at critical HP. Also, critical HP is basically there's a point in time where it's something like when you're at 15% health or below, you enter critical state, and that's basically where the next time you're down, immediately you're dead. You just get killed on the spot. So you come back at critical health, and you come back injured as well, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe you don't come back at critical health. Maybe you come like slightly above critical health. I think that's what it is. Like slightly above critical. And you're injured already. So you need to heal. And they're pretty much gonna die next time they're down. So it's not crazy, but it can actually clutch up sometimes. So even if you kill that person, you can get banished. They probably are gonna have crafted weapons. I mean, 2 teens will still have weapons. Just chilling. I mean, so, because only 1 teen has used their weapon on you to banish you. So the other 2 will still have theirs. Weapons out, ready. And if they communicate well, and they all have a different stigma type, you're probably gonna get banished again. And then they might find the Book of the Dead, they might revive the person, and that person might craft a weapon, everybody might recraft weapons, and it's basically you're just massively taking a fucking L at that point. So yeah, tunneling, camping, it's a lot worse to do in that game than it is in DbD as a killer. And there is also an emote mechanism as well, so you can also screw around with emotes. So that's also just a little fun mechanism. It doesn't do much, it's just an emote. It's just something you can screw around with. Also, see, this is the detail I noticed that I have not seen anyone else talk about. When you hit a teen as the monster, all your abilities currently on cooldown, time itself speeds up when while you're locked in animation and the subduction zone becomes activated. The time actually like fast forwards to like double the speed, so all your abilities currently on cooldown as the monster, they start for like maybe 3 seconds. Instead of taking only 3 seconds off that ability's current cooldown, it takes like 6 seconds off over the span of 3 seconds. So that's something no one, I don't think, really noticed. Maybe they did, but I've heard no one talk about it, so I'm gonna take that as no one noticed. But I just seem to find it. So that also is something that kind of rewards you, even if you have used all your abilities. As long as you've gotten the hit, you're getting massively rewarded. So those are the main points of VHS. There are cosmetics. It's another great point, or another great thing about VHS. It's free to play. So you can just install it whenever. Unlike DbD, if you're not really that interested into DbD, you're not gonna get it. It costs money. If you're not that interested into something and it costs money, why get it? There's no point. But VHS, it's free. You can just try it out. If it even looks in the slightest interesting to you, you can just try it for free, and you can uninstall it if you don't like it. Basically, the way they're making money off the game is cosmetics. So today they actually revealed one of their cosmetics for the wart, and it's actually really fun. Some of the cosmetics they're doing are like super badass, and then some of the other ones are fucking goofy hilarious. that type of shit. And they actually are able to pull that off because of the 80s theme they're going with. So it works pretty well. So that's how they're making money. Also, you could spend money when new characters come out. They're already planning. They already have a few new monsters and new teams planned. Long after release, or the full game's release, they already have it all planned out. Basically, a few monsters, a few teams. You can. The currency is basically Flux. That's currency earned in-game. And then there's also fan bucks, which you buy with money. You could buy characters with Flux or fan bucks. There are a lot of cosmetics in the game you can earn for free just by grinding the game out. And you could also just buy characters with Flux, which is also by grinding the game out. So you could literally just play the game free to play. But, I mean, I'm probably just going to spend money on it just to support them. Because the developers are really nice. They are actually listening to advice that the people who are playtesting the game before the beta comes out. Because it's like YouTubers like Dowsy, Jay, Flesh Immortal. And it's also pretty small YouTubers they've given it to. Because Flesh Immortal, he only has like 300 subscribers. And they gave it to him before the beta. They just said, go ahead, play it. So you can tell they actually care. Whenever they've gotten feedback from one of these people who have played it, they've actually listened to it. They said we'll look into it to them instead of Dead by Daylight saying just ignoring it or saying fuck off. Or just like a good example is with Trapper, everybody has been saying buff him for fucking God knows how long, years. And they're just now buffing him. Just now. It's been years. Come on. And they're not... Like, yeah, it's great. Also, the devs are actually good at their game. That also can help them. That actually is really helpful. Because that helps them make better decisions when it comes to balancing their game out. Because if you're good at a game, you're probably going to know what's unbalanced compared to balance and what needs to be fixed, more than someone who has no fucking clue to what's going on whenever they play the game. So yeah, that's great. And then finally, I swear this is the final thing. I've been talking too much. I'm gonna lose my fucking voice. The perks. Unlike Dead by Daylight, the perks are small bonuses. They are not bullshit crutch fucking wheelchair out of their goddamn mind. They're small bonuses, so I'm imagining something, we don't know like any of the perks really, but I'm imagining something like, for like, let's say the monster, maybe one of the warts perk is to like maybe, oh, there's also 3 tiers. There's 5 perk slots, so that's 1 more perk slot than DbD. 3 tiers of perks. You can unlock the perks for all characters, like DbD. You can teach them to other characters, but you can also not prestige characters. But once you have fully completed the talent tree of characters, you also get a special cosmetic. So it's like prestiging, but guess what? Your grind for all those perks and all those extra tiers for perks you have earned, that's not taken away from you. You get to keep all your perks. Instead, you just get given the cosmetic and you get to fucking leave it be. You do not need to re-grind it. Because in DbD, you prestige, you lose all the perks you had before the prestige, and you fucking rewind time just to get a cosmetic. It's not like that in VHS. You keep all your shit, but just get the cosmetic. They respect the grind. They respect your time. and I think that's something that also is really important. The perks aren't very clutch, so let's say one of the worst perks is something like Tier 1 is like 3%, Tier 2 is 4%, Tier 3 is 5%, and this is all decreased basic attack hit, successful basic attack hit cooldowns. 5% decrease, that's it. It's a super small bonus. It's not a crazy fucking hyper carry crutch bullshit, none of that. Maybe it could be something like the range of the subduction zone when you hit is increased by like blank, like it can do whatever. It's your vaulting speed as a teen, or even as a monster, that could be perk for both sides, because there is windows. As a teen, they are definitely not as beneficial, because the teens, they vault faster than the monster, but it's not like incredible amounts faster like DbD, where the monster is going to lose a ton of distance, or where the killer loses a ton of distance against survivors when they fastball the window, and the killer is basically in a situation when he has to vault a window. It's not like that at VHS. The monster can just vault the window after them. They haven't lost that much distance, they can just make it back up. So I want VHS to fucking kill Dead by Daylight. I'm sick of their shit. I've been playing this game for 3 months, I'm already sick of it. It was so fun at first. Sick of this shit already. I'm so fucking tired of it. And also, VHS, it's not coming to consoles at first, so that's gonna leave the console Dead by Daylight players kind of just waiting. But they have said that with all the support they're getting, they will release consoles after they have optimized their game and made it the best they think it could be at the point in time they are at, and then they would just work on consoles. So just something like that. But boy, let me tell you, when that shit hits console, I hope Dead by Daylight gets wiped the fuck out. I hope VHS dethrones, puts the final fucking nail in this game's coffin. I don't care what anyone says, that is what I fucking want. This game is consistent fucking meta. MMR is terrible. Is SBMM terrible. Hacking, major issues with hacking. NFT scandal. It's gone to shit so fast. I mean, like, it's fucking worse than Fortnite. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Fortnite died just due to updates not being that much in favor of like nostalgia, or not, they haven't made the best updates. Not they made NFT scandals there, or they haven't been banning hackers. They haven't done any NFT shit. They haven't not banned any major hackers or anything like that. That's not why the game's dead. It's dead just because the updates are making the game less and less fun, and because of the sweats. It is just kind of sweats in the Battle Royale side of Fortnite now. So that's just further enhanced the game. It's pretty much the community that killed the game. But DbD, the community is pretty bad. I mean, it's toxic. It's the survivors especially. Teabag, flashlight clicking, exit gate, it's fucking consistent. Hacking is mainly towards the survivor side. There is obviously killer hackers, and there's obviously toxic killers, but it is a lot more consistent on the survivor side, I can tell you that. So, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna lose my fucking voice, I swear to God. But, yeah. VHS. I mean, so far it's living up to the hype. People are already wanting to move the game. Now, people are kind of overcomplicating what we need to do to kill DbD. Guess what we need to do? Simple as this. Move to another game. Then they're kind of fucked. They have to listen to the community to get their community back. So if VHS comes out, people are like, I don't think this game is gonna actually kill it. I really want it to. Well, now your point's kind of proven. Just switch to VHS. If you want it to, that means that obviously you want DbD. You want VHS to succeed. You think it's a pretty, obviously you think it's not a half bad game. You think it's pretty good. You think it actually is competition. You think you would actually have fun playing it. That's what that tells me. So switch to VHS. You're contributing to making these devs fucking listen, or you're just contributing to killing this game. And honestly, I kind of want to kill this game more, like, than anything. Like, the devs, making them listen would be great, but I really just think, I think we need a new game. I think VHS is just the game we should switch to. Because this shit, it's tiring. I'm tired of it. Alright, I'm just gonna end the stream.